Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel and my craft room here at Random Acts of Stamping, Kathy's Random Acts of Stamping. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm so glad to be back. I did take a little bit of time off. I had a lot of things going on from my oldest daughter coming in to visit me. She lives in Florida, and all of my children are far away. I have one in Michigan, one in Florida, and one in Virginia. And you might say, well, you're just in North Carolina, but I'm in the southwestern part of North Carolina, so I am 5 hours away from my daughter who lives near Richmond, Virginia. That's my youngest, and then my son, who's my middle child, he's the one that's in Michigan. But Angel lives in Florida. She travels a lot for her job, and she was actually in Charlotte for a one-day conference. It was supposed to have been a 3-day conference, but she had another meeting that took precedence over this one, so she had to go to Tennessee for that one, and then she flew back into Charlotte Thursday evening, went to her meeting, and then came here Friday afternoon. So we had a nice dinner, and thank y'all so much for giving me that break to spend time with her, cook her a good home cooked meal. I always do that when my kids come to visit. But anyway, let's get busy and let me show you what I want to do today. This is a set called Sweet Citrus, and here just shows the stamp set, but you can get what is considered the Sweet Citrus hybrid embossing folder, which is the dies and the embossing folder. And this is on page 32 of our annual catalog. And if you look over on page 169, let me thumb to that, 169, right here is the Citrus Hybrid, and it comes with the dies and the embossing folder, and that is such a pretty set. And I want to show you how this works. I thought that this was a set that was worth doing a card with, and I wanted to come up with something a little different than what I had been doing. But here is your Sweet Citrus dies, your Sweet Citrus embossing folder, and your Sweet Citrus stamp set. This is a 2-step stamp, which makes it great. We're going to use this image and this image, and we may bring in a couple leaves and maybe a little bit of the flowers. I'm not sure yet exactly how I want to do this yet, but I know this is what I wanted to work with. So I have gotten a piece of 5.5 by 4.25 inch cardstock, and the first thing I want to do is I want to stamp my lemon slices. These are the little pieces like this, and I think they are so cute because look, we're going to put them down right about there. I'm going to go up high, so let me zoom y'all in a little bit so you can better see exactly what I'm doing. I got some sun shining in here today, so it's a little brighter than normal. I'm going to use my lemon lolly for my inside of my oranges or my lemons. I'm not sure, these could be oranges or lemons, but we're going to go with lemons. I'm going to bring out my stamp pad, my little Stampin' Pierce mat, because I am using the photopolymer and I want some cushion behind those. I'm going to grab me a stamp block, and I'm going to go in for one of the larger ones. This is the E block, and these blocks are so nice, and you can see that this block will pick this up completely. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to take the ink pad to the stamp because it's a bigger image and it won't fit on the pad as good as the stamp pad will fit on the block. If that makes sense, I hope it does. So I'm going to ink that up really good, and then I'm going to come in. Oh, and look what I did. I got my finger right in that ink. Oh, we're going to try not to get it anywhere on our paper, and let's see how I want to stamp this. It really doesn't matter because we're going to emboss it and die cut it. And so maybe I'll go right up here, and I'm going to give that a good press. Since I'm not using a stamp positioning tool for this, I just wanted to make sure I had a really good and vibrant image, and I think that's showing up really pretty. So let me grab my Stampin' Scrub. Y'all know how much I love my Stampin' Scrub. I'm going to set that out of the way while I activate this with just a little water, and then I'm going to just do that And oh, I'm going to add this bottle onto my Amazon links. This is like a hairdresser bottle, but when you spray it, it pumps a continuous squirt of water onto your surface, and you could use that on your chamois or your Stampin' Scrub, whatever you use to clean your stamps with. Alright, we got that done. So the next thing I want to do, and I'm going to leave this out because I'm sure we're going to be reaching for it again. We're going to pull these ones out, and this is going to, oh, you know what? I didn't take in consideration that that's going to be hanging over. Okay, let's turn this over, and let's decide how we want this to go. It's going to go like that. So I'm going to stamp this down like this. Okay, let's restamp this. Sorry about that. I wasn't thinking about how big that was to go around them when I first stamped this. So we're going to just go ahead and ink that up again. And how did I say I wanted to do it? Something like that. Yep, that looks good. Right about there. And I'm going to press it, give it a nice press. Isn't that funny how this does not look like lemon lolly? It has almost an orangey texture to it, or color, but it's not. It's that beautiful, beautiful lemon lolly that I think everybody is loving. So now we're going to take and position this around, and you want to try to get it even. If you notice, you got a full stamp there. So I'm going to grab another one of those larger blocks. And of course, if you were stamping at home and not doing a video, you could just grab that one. Oh, that's not going to fit either. We're going to have to go into the big one, the really big one. So Stampin' Up! Has all different size blocks for whatever you need, or if you have a stamp positioner, this would be a perfect time to use that. So I'm just going to go in and go ahead and pick that up right where it lays. And I'm going to turn this over, and for this one I want it to be darker, so I'm going to use Crushed Curry. I think that is a beautiful lemon, a deep rich lemon color. So we're going to use it, and we're going to ink this up just like so. And then we're going to bring this around. You want to be careful because this is a big stamp block, and I'm going to angle it so that I'm going right around these pieces. So you want to be careful because you really want that two-step stamping to be exactly where you want it. So I'm going to press that down, giving it a good image. Something like that. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Alright, we're going to go even one step further. Let me clean those stamps really quick. You know why I like to clean my stamps? It's really two reasons. One is I don't like to leave ink on my stamps because it does, the longer it stays on there, the better chance you have of staining. These are photopolymer, so you're going to get some staining anyway. But y'all know I resell my stamps. And in reselling my stamps, I want them to be in the best condition, so whoever buys them will be getting like almost new. The other thing is I don't want to take a chance of a piece of paper or a piece of cardstock that I'm working with to get into this and mess up what I'm working on. So it's really a kind of a twofold thing for me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up this embossing folder, and I am going to bring out my dies. Remember, they're hybrid, which a hybrid die means this. It means you can cut and emboss at the same time. And who doesn't love two for the money? So I'm going to sit this down in here. Let's see, it's going to go on this side. You have to watch your orientation so you know what goes where and who's on first. And you'll feel that when it kind of steps into that groove. And then what we're going to do is we are going to turn this over like that. And I'm going to slide this piece of paper in here and get it angled right about where I need it to go to cut and emboss my beautiful lemon slices and my whole lemon, and I'm just moving it around to try to get it in the best possible position, and I think that is good. And let me tell y'all about the week I had. You know, I did a little extra cleaning. Whenever you have company, we all do that. We want things to be spiffy and, you know, looking nice. So of course I did a little extra cleaning. But between that, when my daughter left on Saturday, we found out that our refrigerator, we have an older refrigerator in our garage. A lot of people do. I know a lot of people that have an extra refrigerator. When we moved here, we had an old refrigerator from the other house, and we bought a new one for this house because we wanted stainless steel appliances to match everything else in our kitchen. And when the old white refrigerator just did not go. So let's see, what sandwich do I use for this? I think we don't need this. I don't think we need that adapter plate. I think. And I want to make sure this is on here right where I want it. The cardstock anyway. I'll move that down just a hair. Maybe something like that. I think that's good. I'm hoping this is the right sandwich. I might have to play with it because it's been a while since I did hybrid. I think this is it, but I'm not positive. No, maybe not. Let's try, since it looks to be a 3D embossing folder, let's go with the 3D and see how that works for us. And that might just be my ticket. I didn't look on here to see, and I don't know. I think the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine came out after the hybrid folders. Oh, this feels perfect. You can feel it when it's right. But anyway, we had to start looking whether we were going to replace the refrigerator in our garage or whether we were going to buy a new one for our kitchen. Our refrigerator's about 12 years old, something like that. So anyway, we decided that it would be a better idea. Look how pretty those are. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. That one didn't cut all the way, but I'll show you what to do when that happens. Just take your paper snips. Well, long story short, just take your paper snips and snip that out. It's not hard to do. Just like that. And across like that. My husband is one of those people, and I'm pretty much the same way. I researched and researched before I bought my new computer, and he's the same way. He researches everything. So we are Costco members, and we thought, he looked on the Costco site, and they were having a huge appliance sale, and he found a refrigerator he thought we would like, but it had way too many bells and whistles for me. I like technology, don't get me wrong, y'all know I do, but it was like that the panel in the door with the technology on it, and you could stream pictures across. I didn't need all that. So we started looking, and I wanted to see it in person. I did not want to buy a refrigerator sight unseen. So we started looking, and so my husband said, well, let's get ready and ride out and look and see just what all's out there. And maybe you'll find the one that you like, and then we can check the prices on it. So that's what we did. So yesterday afternoon, after everything was said and done, we took a ride. I was so tired. I did not feel like going anywhere, but I knew this was something we had to do. So we went riding looking for a refrigerator. And I did find the one I wanted, and it was nowhere near as expensive as the one that my husband thought he wanted. So I'm going to stamp these leaves a couple of times on a light green cardstock, and I think I'm going to grab the Lemon Lolly or Parakeet Party. Let's do Parakeet Party. I haven't used this one in a while. Yeah, that would be pretty with that. And I'm going to stamp it in Garden Green, so I want a little bit of darkness around it. But anyway, we came back, and they had the refrigerator it was, but when we went to load it into Load's cart, it didn't want to play. Y'all know how that goes. Well, after all the calculation was done, I think we did better by ordering it. They did have it at Costco. to order. They didn't charge you for the haul away for the old one. They did not charge you delivery for the new one. It was kind of a win-win. So anyway, we went ahead and ordered it. It's supposed to be here Wednesday. So Wednesday's going to be a humdinger of a day because I've got to unload everything out of the refrigerator in the garage. Oh, is this not inking? That feels a little bit dry. Let's see what it does when I stamp it down. Oh, not too bad. This one's definitely dry. I need to re-ink this pad. It's my garden green. I got to remember to do that. So I'm going to stamp really hard on that. Yeah, that's better. It's looking a little grainy too, and I think it's because my ink pad's so dry. I'm going to do about 4 of these. I'm going to go offline and cut these out because it's going to take me a minute, and then I'll just come back after everything's said and done. But long story short, we went ahead and ordered it from Costco because they did everything for free, and even though the refrigerator was $100 more than Lowe's, it was still a better buy in the end. All that being said, done. I've got the refrigerator coming sometime Wednesday. I won't know until Tuesday night what time. I have to unload everything out of the old one outside. I have to unload everything out of my one in the kitchen so that when they get here, all they have to do is bring the new one in, take the old one out and sit it in the garage and haul the old one away. Anyway, I'll be right back, folks. I'm going to cut these out and then we're going to put this card together. Be right back. Alright, I'm back, and as you can see, I've got all of my leaves cut and we're ready to go ahead and assemble this, but I want to assemble this a little bit different. I pulled out a card base and I actually made this a 5x7. So this is a much larger card base than what we normally do, but sometimes I like a nice big card base, and this one is definitely a good one. And you can get one of these out of an 8.5 by 11. So what you do, you will cut it at 10 inches by 7 inches, and then when you fold it on the 5-inch line, you have a 5 by 7 inch card. Very easy, very simple, and it is really a no-brainer. But I wanted to put down, this is from the Delightfully Eclectic Designer Series paper pack, and I love this because it's got these little lemons in it, and I thought that would play well with our sweet citrus. So I'm going to cut this, and for my base on here, I'm going to need this to be 4 3/4 by, and I want it to go in this orientation. So I'm going to cut this side first, and I'm going to do it at 4 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and slice that off. And then I need the other piece to be 6 3/4. So we're going to need to swing our arm out, and we are going to come, that's 6 1/2, 6 3/4 is right there. So we're going to cut that at that point, and this is going to give us a beautiful mat to go right here on the front of our card. So now what I want to do, I want to decide how I want to arrange my pieces and exactly how big I want that to be. So I'm going to lay these off to the side like this. And I love these. I think they're so pretty. And I want to group them together, but I want them to be kind of on top of each other. And we're going to use some dimensionals to do this. So I'm going to do it kind of like this. Maybe a little bit like that. And that piece like that, and they're going to look dimensional because, let me pull that over so you can see it. They're going to look more dimensional because I'm going to raise them up, but I want to use a card base to put down on here that's going to be crushed curry, and I'm thinking I want this to be, let's see, I've also got a piece of lemon lolly because I want these to play well together. And you can see this is much different than this. This really does match that well. So looking at my pieces, I know that they are measuring 3 by 3. So I know I need a piece in the middle that's going to be 3 by 3. I think I'm going to cut this to 4 by 4. So I'm going to cut that down to 4 by 4. So I'm going to line it up right there at the 4-inch mark, and give that a slice, and then I'm going to turn it and cut it again at 4. Just like that. And then this piece I'm going to cut at 3.5 by 3.5. So 3.5 by 3.5. And this should give me the perfect piece. And see, I got a nice border around that, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a wider border on that crushed curry. And all of this can sit on our card something like this. And let's go ahead and decide how we want to put these pieces together. So I know I want that one to go down, and I want this one up on top of it. So I'm going to put a dimensional right behind there. So let's grab our dimensionals. So right there. And that piece is going to sit on top of that like so. So let's go ahead and get that down. Something like that. And then I want this lemon, this nice big rich lemon, to sit right about here. And I want this to sit here. I think I'm going to put a dimensional there next. Because I want this piece to sit right about there. And now this piece is going to go right here. So I want a couple on this one because it's going to be in a little bit larger area. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just putting down my dimensionals like this. And then I'm going to sit this down something like that. Then we can tuck our leaves in to fill in some gaps. So once we put this down on here like this, you know, we could do another piece of white under that, which would be really pretty. Or we could do white right here. Or we could grab that petal pink. Let me see if I got any petal. Is that petal pink or bubble bath? Let's see. Let's try a piece of bubble bath. Nope, see, I think it's a petal pink. So let me grab a scrap of petal pink. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab a larger piece. I'm wondering if I want that to go under here. Oh, how pretty. I don't know. I think this is going to play good on top of the petal pink. It pops better off of that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the 3.5 by 3.5 out of the petal pink. And we'll save these. We can use these another time. And sometimes when you're making a card, and especially when you're creating kind of on the fly like I am today, you have to kind of play with it and decide where you want to go. And where I want to go right now is 3.5 by 3.5. So I'm going to cut it off at 3.5. Just like that. And then I'm going to turn that and cut it at 3.5 again. And now we have our 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. And let's bring this back over. And again, I want to center this right in the middle of that. So I'm going to use some liquid glue. I get that down on there really good because I want it to be nice and secure. And we'll give that a nice little press, just like so. And now we are ready to bring in our fruit. And I think I want to put dimensionals on these as well. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. And I want one here and here. And let's see. I think I need one right here. And don't be afraid to turn your pieces over and lay them on your cardstock to see where all you need your dimensionals. I need one there. I might need two here. And when I say two, I mean stack them on top of each other. Just like that. Oops, I shouldn't chip the backer off. That's okay. Let's see how that looks. I like that. And I don't think I'm going to put one back there. I think we're good. So I'm just going to pull my backers off of here. Just like that. And now I'm going to sit these down just like so. Looks like we're getting ready to have a major storm. I just thought I would say, in case we get cut off, you'll know exactly what happened. I'm hoping I can finish this before the storm comes up, but in case I don't, I love those greens, the green on here. It's so pretty. Oh, I love that. Is that not gorgeous? So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to put it on the back of my leaf like that, and then tuck them back where you wanted them and press it down. Put some glue right here and just nestle it down in there like that. Same thing here. And nestle that one right there. Give it a little press. And then this one is going to be coming right off that corner because I think it looks cute like that. Again, a little glue. And just tuck it right up underneath there and give it a press. Now that is so pretty. What do you think? Let me bring it up to the camera. Isn't that gorgeous? So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring everything back over. And I'm going to bring this kind of up to the top because I want to use a strip of this and maybe a piece of that petal pink over it. And we're going to, and these pieces were left over from the piece I cut. And I'll tell you what they are. They are 1.5 by 4 and 1.25 by 3.5. So, and I'll write all these measurements will be in the blog, so you will not have to worry about writing anything down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and decide what I want to stamp on this one. I think I'm going to use something from the stamp set. So let's see what this one says. This one says, have a zesty birthday. You know, we're always needing birthday cards, so why not have a zesty birthday? I love that. I think it's cute. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a zesty birthday. I'm going to use my VersaFine, my VersaFine Onyx Black ink because I love this for sentiments. And I'm just going to pick that up. I do want to try to get it centered, so I'm going to lay it. Let's see if I can get it over here in the middle where y'all can see it. And let's put it right about there. And let's move that out of our way. And then let's put this right here on the middle and stamp. I love that. I love that font too. It's so pretty. So anyway, let's go ahead now, and I'm going to put dimensions on here because I want it to have a little bit of raised up like the rest of the card. So we're going to put 1, 2. I'm scattering these because I think that works good when you've got a strip, just to kind of scatter a little bit. I think that'll work. And I'm going to pull these off and put them up here with my other little pieces. We can get our little ladybug vacuum to take those all up for us in just a minute. So I'm going to set this down something like that. Oops, that's a little crooked. Let's go up a little bit. So right about, that looks good. So now I'm going to take glue and I'm going to put glue on the back of this. And I'm going to center this on the bottom of our card or our mat. Right about here. And if you haven't done 5x7 cards, I challenge you to cut you some cardstock and do some do some 5x7 cards. It gives you a lot more real estate to decorate. You can use larger images and pieces, and they are just beautiful. I love a 5x7. So I'm going to bring that up here. I've heard some people say they don't care for them because they feel like you're wasting paper. But who doesn't love a nice big card to get in the mail? Now this whole piece is going to go down on here just like that. So look how pretty it is on the back. This Delightfully Eclectic, it's a paper pack that you will turn to over and over. It is so pretty and has so many different designs that match up with so many of our stamps and our dies and our inks. So it is definitely a pack of paper to have on hand. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to pull it a little bit because I don't want it, I want to make sure I'm getting my edges as even as I can. Just like that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, tell me you don't love it. Or tell me you do. Y'all know I love it when y'all love the cards I make. So I'm going to set that over there and put my pen back in my glue so I don't have a clumped up mess here in a minute. And now all we need to do is get a piece of petal pink to put in the middle. Or we could do, you know, I got a piece of Daffodil Delight sitting right here. And why not use that on the inside? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my paper trimmer. Let me get my little Rosie out. I mean my little ladybug. And we're going to just vacuum up all of those little pieces. Look how quick and easy that was. And I don't have to worry about them falling on the floor and making a mess all around my desk. All right, I'm going to line this up at 4 3/4. Just like that. I'm going to slice that. This gives us a nice strip for one of our quilt cards. And then we're going to bring it this way, and we're going to bring it up to, again, we're going to open that up and come up to 6 3/4. Just like that. And then you can always put a message inside, or you could put another white mat over top of this if you wanted to write a sentiment. I don't know who this card's going to go to yet, so I'm going to leave it like that. I do want to bring out some gems. I think this card just really is screaming for some gems. So let's see what I got over here that I love, 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 and what we want to use on here. Oh, goodness, goodness me. I am looking and I am not finding. Oh, these are pretty. These are the iridescent pastel gems, and they are stunning. Look at those. So pretty. I think these will go really well with this. So I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to pull off some of these pinkish. Oh, they're just so pretty. Look at that. Oh, love them, love them. And I'm going to put one right there, and maybe one right here. I think that's all we need. And if you wanted to, you could tie a little ribbon. Let's see what I've got that would go good with that. Here's a petal pink, and this is very pretty. Look how soft that looks. Let's do a little finger bow, and I want to make it tiny. So over, under, over. Whoops, let's bring that down a little bit. And over, and then we're going to cut this off about to here, and I'm going to wrap that through like that and bring that back up under, something like that. And then I'm going to rock that back and forth, just like that, to get us a nice little bow. And I love these because your tails stay to the back. You know how a lot of times you have to fight with your tails? These make your tails always come from the back of your bow, and you can spread these out just a little bit, and we're going to trim those off, something like that. And then we can put that bow right here, and it will look so cute. I'll frill it out just a little bit. And I'm going to grab a glue dot because that's my favorite way to put down my bows. And I'm going to come down to right here and grab that glue dot, just like that. And my adhesive is on the back of my bow now, so I am going to stick that down right about here. Just like so. Alright, and we're going to pull that down, and there is our card. What do y'all think? I am loving it. I hope that you have enjoyed this, the making of this card, as much as I have. I think it's stunning. I love the way it turned out. I love my citrus up here, and that designer series paper in the background really does make the card. Now I know the camera washes it out a little bit, but I'll have pictures of it up on the blog, and go take a look at my blog. Also the links for anything I used that was not Stampin' Up, which is this, my art glitter glue, my spray bottle. I'm going to put that out there too, so y'all can grab that if you want it, and my VersaFine ink. Those are all things that aren't Stampin' Up, but I do have links for them on Amazon. Click that link and go to my online store and pick those up if you want any of them. But also be sure to check out the catalog for these beautiful products called Sweet Citrus, the stamp, the dies, and the hybrid folder. The dies and the folder come together as one unit, and the stamp set is separate. So God bless and keep you, and as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Savior Jesus. He is worthy. So until next time, God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.